Morning, Matt. Good
Uh,
morning, Bob. Good morning, everybody that just woke up on Saturday at like 6:57.
7 at night?
they
Yeah,
set
well,
their
hey,
alarm
I just
clock to
got
wake
up.
up for cardboard conversations.
Yeah, I mean, I
We
don't know
are
what
the
to
start
say.
of a good day, I guess.
It's the restart of a great day, you know? I got
And of
So
up,
course,
felt
waking up to
terrible,
like,
got to
comment, and subscribe, and share the video with your friends. If you like it, become a channel member. Just as low as $1 per month. Give it a
holy
little go.
shit, you did that right at the beginning of the show, Matt. I'm impressed. At
It
I
least
just
mean,
you're
it just
getting
came
better.
natural to me today. I just felt like it was a calling. It required being done.
I think somebody mark this down on the calendar. That has to be the first time that we've ever shilled for our own channel before 7 p.m.
I know, right?
Like,
Professional. Yeah, this is kind of.
so I think we're all in a good mood, though. Pat, you're not in good
I'm in a good
good
mood. I'm just not in good
shape.
health. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Go time capsule.
Time
We
capsule being
appreciate
Will
you
G.
appreciating us.
And he was using some of his member benefits earlier. We were playing some Icarus this morning. That was
Yeah, you were
good
talking about
time.
that. So one
I
of the
don't know.
reasons that
I love that
I'm
game
sorry
so much.
for the audience that because I know time capsule at a minimum, you're sitting there waiting, and you generally have to jam for like food or something pretty early on. And we were talking about what's behind me here to some extent, and more broadly, board games in general. And one of the things that I'm running into, even with a fairly decent sized home, is storage space, right? We think that Magic is bad because you end up having so many cards and you got to store them, and you really have to consider storage and keeping it climate controlled. You don't want your cards getting all mucked up. It's the same thing for a board game. You have to keep your board game in pretty much the same type of climate that you do for Magic cards. Many of the board games have cards, as a matter of fact. I cross pollinate sleeves all the time between Magic and board game. However, this is a new one to me, and it's not out yet, so I would assume this is fairly new. Period. I don't know how many of you have heard about it. It's the StarCraft miniature board game. I do love. I'm a sucker for them taking video games and making board games out of them. So one of the things that we were just discussing prior to the show, and I'm like, we're just wasting good content here, because if we're discussing it, I'm sure other folks out there that are into the gaming world, nerdery like we are, probably running into a lot of the same issues. And Pat was like, so you're excited about StarCraft. And while I do like the IP, I have to be super judicious about which board games I'm picking up. Yeah, I'm at the point where I feel like I have to sell off older board games I no longer play to make space for newer ones.
You have so much space. Why are you smoking? You have so much space in your basement that you're not utilizing
No, I
correctly.
don't.
You could store it.
Dude,
I've been in your basement, man.
I'm
It was
bumping
literally
into
just a
stuff
sea
everywhere.
of boxes on the floor. Those could be turned into shelves. You can line the wall with shelves. You can make rows
Could
of
be.
shelves if you
Could
really
be.
wanted to.
Yes, if I really wanted to. I'm just saying I have to.
You have plenty of storage. You're not optimizing.
But understand, it's not all my stuff down here. Part of
I
it.
get it.
Carrie's part of it's. Like I have to share the basement. And I even have to share it with my mom. She does all the gift wrapping and stuff. So there's a gift wrapping station, and I have to keep the pathways clear because she's kind of older, and I don't want her tripping and falling on a concrete floor at her age in the basement.
Yeah, that would not be ideal.
Yeah, my bones
it
hurt
is a
just
concern to
thinking
keep
about
it less cluttered, right? And we're at the point where if we bring in more stuff, it's gonna start interfering with walking space.
What kind of game is it?
I think it's probably going to be. I started reading through it a little bit. I think it's going to be something similar to like a Warhammer, because you have to measure out line of sight and distances, and I don't know so much about angles, but I just started reading it.
Style game. I saw that it was like 2 to 4 players, if I remember correctly.
It said 2-player at first, but then it said there's a 3-player edition. I'll be honest with you, I just found this today, and I was like, ooh. But it's going to take up significant space to what we were just really talking about right before we went live, Pat, that the difference between like getting expansions and play boxes for Magic and getting something like this, these things have a lot of dead space to protect the miniatures in them, right? You have to cushion
also
them.
like this right here requires manual assembly and painting. So like
Oh,
not
really?
yeah.
Ugh,
So
fuck
like
that.
it pretty much isn't
Fucking
going
spend
to
6
look
months
like
trying to
what you
build it
see
before you even get to
here.
play it.
So I'm going to say
Yeah.
it's similar to Warhammer, right? I'm going to say it's
Oh,
similar to
that's
Warhammer
definitely the
or
vibe I'm getting. Yeah, and how.
Song of Ice and Fire. If you're familiar with that, there's a
Oh, shit, I
tabletop.
love this. Yeah, I think you're spot on. So looking at some of the contents, it looks like Marines and blah, blah, blah. Down here, 27 cards, 50 tokens, 1 ruler. It comes with a fucking ruler. Okay. Yeah. 100%. This is very,
People are
this
going to
is
use
very
tape
Warhammer.
measures instead. The little mini tape measures are just a lot easier to use than a ruler. I've played a little bit of Warhammer, so you know. Kind of.
Well, I mean, and I've
this
played.
is
I don't know if you
cool.
played X-Wing. Have you guys either heard of that or played it?
It
was
I
kind
think
of
we
fun.
saw that at Gen Con.
They
I
also
think so.
have a Star Wars. I don't remember what the miniature battle game. There's a whole host. There's
racing.
there's a Battlefront or something like that. Star Wars Battlefront, where they have miniatures like this. There are a whole host of IPs that have a similar concept to like a Warhammer 40K.
Oh, it's got the pylon and everything.
Yeah, man. I saw that. I was like, oh, that's dope. I like that pylon.
I mean, it's cool, but at the same time, like
Let's construct additional pylons.
it's $290 for this one box.
Yeah, dude, and that's not even the more expensive one. Like, so let's scroll to the right there. If you see up top, there's an all-in bundle. No, you're not even there yet. There we go.
3-player all in.
For the low price of
$700,
$669 if you spend $700.
Nope.
So like taxes and shipping. What
Hey,
up, Coach? Hope you're doing well as well.
And this is a limited Founders Edition. So this has the same vibes of Kickstarter without being on Kickstarter, right?
Yeah. Well, it does feel like that, except with the exception that Kickstarter, like, it could just not happen. This feels as though the product line is going to
look at that Kickstarter one, the one right underneath the base game there, Goliath Online.
Goliath Online.
There it is. See him? Come on, you gotta tell me you see the Goliath. There he is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's retrieving for my blood time capsule. Like, what do they think they are? Magic the Gathering, and this is a collector bundle?
No, you really what you should say is who do they think they are? Warhammer, because this is Warhammer, right?
Sure, dude.
This is Games Workshop prices for sure.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling you earlier. Yeah, it looks like it might be finally time. Hydralisks, baby. Time to maybe
with
look
more
at
unpainted, incomplete miniatures.
But a resin printer ain't gonna get you to like you can't like there are no files.
Yeah.
There's no
people. Yeah, but if there's this out there, people will make files.
No, you'd be surprised. There's like almost no Games Workshop's models. I think they go after them pretty heavily. I think it's like, you know, I mean, obviously it's copyright if they try.
Yeah.
Like there might be some on the black market, but I've not found a single Games Workshop model available to 3D print. Like it's pretty locked down.
But I'll say this for those like limited things where they have like a get it during pre-release kind of thing. And man, if you look on eBay for like some of the Kickstarter bundle stuff, it can get absurd. Some
of them are worth a good amount of money, and some of them are worth absolutely nothing.
Oh yeah, some of them are dog shit. Depends on how popular it's going to be, right? Now Blizzard does like StarCraft still has a huge following.
Yeah, I watch some pro games every now and again.
Like it's surprise. This is what I said. I think that they should come up with a World of StarCraft. I don't know why they keep fighting that. They're aware they should come up with a World of StarCraft. They addressed that when they were talking about their Titan. What was it called? The Project Titan.
I don't know.
And then they shut that down after like 8 years of development.
Shipping plan for end of Q2.
So it must be close.
Get absolutely everything with this bundle with a 2K mineral army for each of the 3 races.
Also doing they're doing
Oh,
point
so,
value
like
for armies as well.
So
yeah,
just like Warhammer.
exactly.
Yeah.
670. Oh, no, dude, it's 670 plus taxes
670.
and fucking shipping. This is closer to, like, 725.
Oh,
It
yeah,
ain't
And this
cheap.
is
taxes. There's
not
probably
a
gonna be shipping
small
too.
item either. It says the dimensions here. Box dimensions 535 millimeters. What
Oh, you know they're charging shipping too.
Oh, yeah,
It's not going to be
without
cheap. It'll be
Blizzard ain't giving
45
you no
bucks
free
for shipping
shipping.
at least.
well, this is in Edge, so I know I don't have nothing in here. Proceed to checkout. Like, I don't have any of my personal information because Microsoft Edge is a piece of shit. Delivery
it's pretty
cost
bad.
$20 just for shipping.
That's
Yeah.
not that
That's
bad.
actually pretty tame, to be honest.
Yeah,
Well,
Kickstarter's usually like 45 to
90
50
plus
bucks.
taxes.
Well, yeah.
They're
Well,
looking at what,
maybe they won't.
$760 or so.
But
Yeah,
Kickstarter, a lot of them, like from Cool Mini or not, I've paid, like 45 to 60 bucks
oh
for
yeah,
shipping.
yeah. No, I'm not disregarding the fact that in general, the miniatures games are a very expensive playscape.
Yes.
I can't think of a miniatures based game that is cheap,
No.
except for possibly the Fallout mini game, like the minis game, because they often sell their STL files. That's why I was reasonably familiar, Matt, with that issue that so many games run into. Humble Bundle, actually, not a sponsor, be great if they were, but
Yeah,
for
well,
like
sweet.
$16, you were able to get all of the PDFs that they'd ever made for the Fallout Minis game and all of the STL files. Surprisingly, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
What up, Deckard runs blades? Mantic firefight.
So yeah, I mean, I am interested in this. Like the product that it exists interests me. It's a big turnoff at these prices. Like that, I'm not. Again, like Matt said, it feels very Games Workshop like, and that's the big issue I have with Games Workshop. I could be into Warhammer 40K. It doesn't. Not really.
Honestly, the price doesn't kill for me. The fact that you have to assemble everything before you can even play.
I think what they are,
models.
They're just not on the base.
Oh, that's not so bad. If you just have to cut them from the sprue and glue them to a base, that's not so bad.
I think
there are some Games
Workshop
Workshop models that are very simple to put together. They're like 3 or 4 pieces. If it's like that, then it's not so bad.
Well, the problem is what's on the box isn't what I'm freaking getting. Like this purple thing.
You gotta be a pro painter in order to get what's on the box, unfortunately.
100%. Yeah. Like that's I don't know. That's kind of tough for me. For $35, right? Plus your shipping and all that jazz. This is going to be 40 and change. I'm not the guy that wants to sit down and paint this. If
here's
it
a bigger
painted, if it was like what is appeared on the box, this could just be a cool thing to put on a shelf. Like if you were just into StarCraft and it came all glowed up, looking great, you for $40, yeah, that's a really good mini as far as that type of market.
Yeah, if they were painted, is what you're saying. If they came pre-painted already,
yeah,
yes.
So one of the things that I thought was really cool back in
is that creep? Is that what those are at the bottom? Those little
yes,
bubbles
it is creep. Accelerating creep.
Sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
Let me share my screen here.
Yeah, this seems interesting. There could be a lot of play space for that. I mean, it's their first official release in, I think they said like 12 years. So it's definitely something.
So one of the things that I thought was really cool, I found this at a sale or whatever. So there's the D&D board games. I don't know if you've ever played any of them. They're pretty good, actually.
I have one, but I haven't been able to play it. Nobody will sit down and play it with me. Damn it!
I'll play it. It's good. So there's an Assault on Giants. I'm trying to find the normal.
I have the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I might have 2 of them.
Yeah, so here we go. So this is like the normal version. So you've got the Assault on Giants. It's a board game similar to like Gloomhaven, but a little easier to play. So you get these models, right? Well, they sell a premium version, which I actually end up picking up at a garage sale for like nothing, like $20. And then in the premium version, all of the models are fully painted.
Oh, nice.
Can I not click?
Oh,
Why is this website ass? I can't click and open it bigger.
You'll have to tell me.
take that, whiz kids.
Couldn't you could
Take
just
my
right
gift.
click and. But one of the things I wanted to point out with the one that you had on the screen there with the what are those called? The brood mothers. And
Okay,
it like especially with what you had on there with the I want to go back to that after Matt's done.
There we go. So they're not like super pro painted, but they're fully assembled. They're painted enough, and realistically, for even right now, I think it said it was like $50. Yeah, $52.
I haven't tried. I haven't run a D10 base game since like the 80s.
The amount of models you get, like honestly, even if you just play D&D, buy this because
Yeah,
the amount of models you get is insane, and they're fully painted. Like all of these models. Let's see. I don't know if it can. Is there something on the back? It's a good amount of models. I have it. It's in the other room, but
well, yeah, it's
highly
certainly
recommend it.
far more cost effective that way than buying individual D&D miniatures. Which I'm from back in the day when when you played D&D and you had to buy lead miniatures and paint them, and they were pretty expensive.
But yeah, I don't know. It just reminded me of like that's the kind of value that I'm looking for. If I were to spend $700, I need them to be fully painted and assembled. Like I'm not going to spend $700 on that.
Pat, if you would please pull up the one you had with the Zerg, and so what I wanted to comment on, like either one of these, I think would be perfect example. Is it after you assemble them, the big ones, you can't put them back in the box. So they have to be shelf items, right?
That's not
That's the
necessarily true.
It
mean, you just
looks like
form the
it
same
comes
way
pretty
as-
much together except for the base.
Well, they might have other things that stick up. I've run into that where once you assemble it, it don't go back in the box.
Yeah, this does look like it would be too large.
Well, you would just store it the same way that people store the Warhammer 40K miniatures. There's like
in a glass cabinet.
no, you typically put them in. They're like they're gun cases, and the inside's filled with foam, and it has like pieces you can pull out, and it like shapes around whatever you put in it.
Sure.
A lot of people like repurpose them as miniature cases because they're like $20, and they're super. They're really good protection, and they're really cool because they're super customizable.
Yes, but again, with storage,
plano gun cases,
storage space concerns again, right? Like you ever
it's more bulky than a box for sure.
Have you ever been in a game store when the dudes walk in with their Warhammer 40K to play in tournaments?
No, dog. I can only imagine though.
Oh my god, dude! So they walk in with like their multiple cases. They look like they're getting ready to take a trip, and then they have to go out to the car and get more. Like they can't even bring it all into the store at one shot.
It would take me multiple boxes for sure.
And that's what I'm saying. So there are some drawbacks to this, even though the IP really, man, there's a lot of nostalgia hitting here on so many things that you're showing on the screen for me. So I wonder how successful this is going to be. When RZA talks about reprinting Edge 30 above mail. Picture of Chuck Norris. Let's see if try it again. Actually, I'm all about reprinting the reserve list. And I'd honestly be
playmat. It looks like. I mean, you get a lot of pieces. You get a lot of bang for a lot of buck. I think that's the biggest issue with the game for me. Just in general is it's difficult to get somebody else to get into miniature gaming with you.
Oh yeah.
And if it's a niche game, if that's just coming up, if it's just starting to come out, it'll be real difficult to find people to play, even more so.
It also takes a while to play. I think a lot of people are going to buy these just to have the miniatures on a shelf, like not even playing the game. They just want them for the shelf. Even
shelf
if they don't
candy.
Even build them. Yeah,
well,
I really think it's just that.
It takes time for it to get established, but I think I'm glad that it exists. not happy with the pricing, and not looking forward to having to find room to store it. And definitely not looking forward to assembling and painting. Like, maybe in my retirement, I sit there and paint, but take care, Time Capsule.
Peace, dude.
But, as I get older, it gets harder. My vision's going, my dexterity's going. It's hard to, you might not think about it, but, it gets harder and harder to paint miniatures as you get older. Right? Your vision goes, your dexterity, acuity decreases.
If you're not doing like the exercises to keep your hands steady, it's not going to be easy.
So again,
you got to get into that fucking finger ninjutsu or something. You got to,
Well, let's just put it this way: I love painted miniatures. I don't love painting them.
I love huffing paint. I hate painting things. Like just putting a little bit of model glue in a brown paper bag, man, that brings me back to being a teenager. You think that one's a one-hit wonder cash grab? Interesting.
I don't know about
that. I mean, that's kind of what I said. I mean, it's just shelf candy. Like, people aren't going to play this game. Like, maybe some will, but it's not going to be a massive thing that like that it takes off and everybody's playing. It's not going to be the next Warhammer 40K. It's just
not at those prices. It just can't be.
Well, I mean, the $700 is for like everything they have. You don't need all of that. Like, it's probably did it say how many point armies that $700 would be?
I'll grab your cash, DJ. It didn't. I don't know. I'm sure it says it on there. It's the only one I saw that had like a 3-player variant. Like, I'll have to read into it more. I just wanted to kind of, bring awareness and some of the concerns about gaming like that. I hope that we get to see it at Gen Con. I will definitely be down to sit down and try it if they have it on display.
That's a great point. Yeah.
It could be at Gen Con this year, maybe.
Could they? It should be. I mean, didn't it say they're shipping in Q2?
Yeah.
So
shipping plan for Q2.
I'll tell you this: if they don't have it at Gen Con, what a giant miss that would be for them.
I'd be surprised if they didn't.
It does say how many pieces it comes with.
But typically they give it in point army values. Like, that's really what matters. Like, a lot of times I remember when we played, it was like 1,500 points was the like a medium-sized army.
We're talking about the StarCraft miniature game that I just found out about. I think it's pretty new, that I have behind me here, DJ. And some of the ins and outs of it, and kind of like board gaming, especially with miniatures. I don't know that I have a standard miniature board game. It's rare for me to pull out a mini game anymore, and probably I'd have to say Zombicide would be the most frequent one that we pull out, some flavor of Zombicide.
Oh, mine's Gloomhaven or Frosthaven.
Because but even with both of those are even worse than Zombicide with setup time, right? Like, that's the biggest concern with all mini games is I don't know any mini games that are quick to set up or tear down.
Yeah, Gloomhaven's not too bad if you have you can do a digital version of it where you just click it and it has the map set up for you automatically. And then there's an app that takes care of like what minions are supposed to be, in the lineup. So like there are things you can do to make it quicker.
So you're
but it's
saying
still
a
not
miniature
quick.
game with no miniatures?
No. It's an app that keeps track of their HP. It keeps track of like what initiative their turn order is in, and you as well. And then you still put the miniatures on the board. It's just you would use the digital screen like a TV, or like I have a TV built in my table.
That's a good chunk of the time though, is digging out the miniatures and then putting them back in the right place and putting them. It's a lot of tear down and setup compared to like
quick. It's just you can make it better.
I love Imperial Assault
better.
Deckard. I am so itching to play. I think I'm only missing like 2 of the expansions. I want to run those campaigns. It's just so hard to find somebody, especially in adult life, that's not living in their mom's basement, that will actually commit to that kind of time. I mean, to play a full campaign of something like Imperial Assault, you're talking over that's like a D&D campaign. You're talking months and hours for each session. So it's tough to realistically play it unless you're independently wealthy or with no job whatsoever or no life. So it's just hard for somebody who's a regular Joe.
I remember the last time that I played Warhammer was at my work because we had a bunch of work buddies that had it, and we got together on our we got off of work and we got together in the break room area or the rec room area, and we set up on a pool table. And I remember being bored out of my fucking mind because it just takes so long to play the game. I don't know. It just like I thought it was cool and I wanted to enjoy it, but I'm like, it's like 30 minutes before you get a turn, and then you finally get a turn, and then like because we didn't really know how to play, there was a lot of like referencing the rules, and a lot of us were inexperienced with like what the terminology was, so looking that up, it was just not a super easy experience.
I wish it was more like
started with 15-point armies or whatever, but 1,500 points. I mean,
I wish it was more like Imperial Assault, but this looks like it's pure PvP head to head. It's more like a Song of Fire and Ice or a Warhammer or a Legions. I think that's what
Didn't
it's actually
called. Didn't it say there was
called.
a co-op mode on the box?
Nope.
I thought there was a
Didn't see co-op anywhere on it.
Yeah, I'm sure people can make co-op modes.
Oh no, I totally judge people, Coach. And no, I'm fine judging people.
Yeah. Huh? Judge respectfully, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, I think there's plenty wrong with it. And I'm fine being that asshole that's willing to say, yeah, that's bad. If you're 40 years old living in your mom's basement, don't. Do better.
At 40, you should be having your mom live in your basement.
There you go. Put her to work. Have her do some laundry.
Yeah, right. Hey, Mom, don't forget to pick up the freaking laundry, huh?
Wait. What did Will Ferrell say? Hey, Ma, meatloaf.
God, I could go for a meatloaf right now. That would be great.
Meatloaf's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So we spent way too long on this. I only meant to talk about this for like just a couple of minutes, saying, "Hey, by the way,
you want to take the time to switch over to the meatloaf section?" I know we don't.
Let's talk. Speaking about meatloaf,
I mean, people don't make it at home. That's one of the things. Is like pretty much anytime you go out to like a diner-esque restaurant and you see meatloaf and you're like, oh man, it's probably been 3 years since I've had that. But you would be embarrassed to order it in front of your other friends. Like if we go out, right?
What?
We go to some slop house. No, I can't order meatloaf. I'm going to douse that shit in ketchup. And I know Bob will give me an earful.
Why would you be embarrassed about
what? I love dousing meatloaf in ketchup. What are you talking about?
That's the best way to do it.
Oh, that little bit of like crust on the top where it was exposed to the oven's heat. Nom, 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 nom.
So do either of you guys or anybody in the audience know about why a hamburger is called a hamburger?
I
looked this up yesterday. The only reason I even know because I was like, why the fuck? It's got nothing about ham in it at all. Like it makes no sense. But once you learn the reason why, it makes way more sense.
Because the German immigrants in America that were famous for making it traditionally came from Hamburg, Germany?
No. Well, sort of.
Well, tell me more.
It originated in Hamburg, Germany. You're correct there. But it basically was beef tartare. And you were right about the immigrants coming to America and they started cooking their meat because they're not savages. I think that people that don't cook their meat are like they got something wrong in their head. Like sushi and like beef tartare. I'm like, what are you doing? Just cook the meat.
I agree with you, beef tartare, but some sushi is really good. Sashimi.
Yeah,
I've never had a sushi, so I can't say it. It just doesn't.
Well, not so much sushi, but sashimi. Like I'm not a big sushi fan, but sashimi, which is just the raw fish.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But we don't get the good fish over here. They go everywhere in the world. In case you're not aware, the Japanese buyers, like you'll find them at the docks in like Massachusetts. You'll find them at the docks in all the different countries. And the premium fish, they pay absurd amounts for them. Get them on ice immediately, fly them back to Japan, and they charge like $500 an ounce for some of them. But they get the best. They reserve the best meats in the world for fish, so they get the best fish. We kind of get the grocery store sashimi and sushi, dude.
Oh yeah, that's sketchy.
That's not. It's not supposed to be. Sushi or sashimi.
And I live in a landlocked state, so I prefer most of my fish frozen. It's always a
Hell
risk.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really like
So
fish all that much anyways. It's
I
not
like my
bad. I
fish
always
in
hated
stick
fish when I was
form.
younger, but
I
I
did
don't.
not like sushi or sashimi until I lived in Japan for a while.
Yeah.
And it's not that I became used to it. It's like, holy crap, that tastes
Well, they just probably have
way
better quality.
different. Their rice tastes very different over there. It's like here, anytime you eat rice, even in a restaurant, it
It's
has
just white
no
rice.
taste.
Yeah.
There's just no taste. Right? You go over there and it actually has a flavor. Like you're watching them. The first time I remember them eating rice out of a bowl, and they were eating it like ravenously, just shoveling it into their faces out of these little rice bowls.
Mhm.
Like, what the fuck? And I'll tell you what, it's kind of sweet. Some of it has they'll cook it with like herbs, so it's kind of like infused. It's just very, very. They don't export their good shit. They send us their garbage, right? When they sell their rice.
That line brought to you by Donald Trump. Blah blah blah. They just sent us their garbage.
Like, Americans just don't know. We're uncultured swine. That's fine.
I don't know. I think I've had some good rice. It has like a little bit of sweetness to it. And I don't know.
If you went to Japan, you would see. So if you ever take the trip to go over to Japan, how is it like? I assume that Vietnam is also very rice heavy.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you notice a difference? And they don't wash their rice, by the way. Like that shit is sticky as F.
I mean, they use jasmine rice for the most part, which is
which is aromatic already.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was good, but I've also been a smoker for 20 years at this point. So yeah, the flavor of rice is usually so subtle that it's unfortunately often lost on me.
Yeah, I'll say it's definitely a gentle flavor. But anyways, no, it's a very different experience. And let me be very frank. I hated the food in Japan. There are very few things that I liked. I was like, oh God, no, that's terrible. Why would you eat that?
I hear they've got a great drinking culture.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Those little people can put it away, dude. Holy crap.
Aggressive. I follow a lot of like travel channels and some people that live in Japan specifically. And like there's just no issue with public drinking. So everybody does. And you can get drinks like real strong, 10% ciders and shit. Yeah, it seems pretty wild.
Well, but not only that, I mean, they definitely drink to excess. Like, and every occasion is an occasion to drink over there. They actually didn't drink a lot of sake. And I was in Okinawa, to be fair. I didn't spend a lot of time in Tokyo. I was stationed in Okinawa, and Okinawa has what's called aomori, which is their own. It's like a rice whiskey, I guess you could say. But they don't even drink that a lot. They mostly drink beer, and their beer is fantastic because they're allowed to sell beer without preservatives there. Now there is freshness, so you could definitely get skunk beer out of the vending machines. So you have to be very careful. You have to know how to read the labels on the back, and it definitely goes bad. But oh yeah, their beer was wonderful.
Chaperone, Ashi, and all
no, I didn't even have that. They have what's called Orion or Orion, however you want to say it. But they call it Orion.
Those crazy Japanese folks,
dude. They are. Let me tell you. Don't get into.
They don't even say Godzilla correctly. That's the thing.
Gojira.
It's wide.
Gojira.
Matt,
all right. Speaking of Gojira, this week we had some Gojira leaks. That's right.
It's that time of the season.
Well,
it's not the season of the witch.
Spoilers.
It's the season of the Strix.
Yeah, you can tell that the way that they're like the images were taken, that they were like definitely sneaking in some pictures.
These are like leaks, right? And I don't know if we want to go through each of them. Lots of other people are covering them. And I don't want to go through each one.
Dragon is going to be a new commander for me for sure. Witherbloom is banging.
That looks really interesting. I can see a number of different. Well, okay, I can see like 2 different ways to build this deck, and both of them seem kind of fun.
My buddy said that this card it broke him. He like wants to quit Magic because of it. Not necessarily because of this, but a culmination of everything that's happened. He doesn't like Universe of Beyond. He doesn't like the power creep that's happening. He feels that this set's gonna like completely, power creep him
Just
out
break
of
stuff.
being able to
Yeah,
enjoy
a nice solid
magic.
power creep.
Which I mean, I guess I
gotta be
get. Like,
honest.
this is very strong. Like this is going to be like Animar level strong, I think.
I got to be honest though. I mean, in just black and green, and just go Gari for instants and sorceries. Like most of the good black sorceries are going to have X in the cost.
Yeah, that helps. That pays for some of the X.
No, it pays for none of the X.
Yeah, it costs one life.
Affinity helps pay for the X.
Yeah. So
What?
if you declare that X
Affinity
is
pays for the X.
if you have something that's X blue and you declare X is 4, you can then tap 4 creatures to pay for all
No,
of that.
this isn't
You don't have to
convoke.
pay him at all. This isn't convoke. This is
Right.
affinity. This means it just reduces the cost of it.
Oh yeah, so you just pay the.
I didn't think affinity affected X in
I'll
mana
double
cost.
check because you're making me question it now, but I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
I'm also pretty sure that it does.
No, I think affinity only reduces stated mana costs that are colorless.
Matt's on it. Scryf all that shit. Mixmaster
Affinity for
Matt.
artifacts reduces the total cost of X by 1 generic mana for each artifact you control applied with the value X is chosen. This allows for casting massive X spells for little to no mana. Let me double check. That's an AI. That's an AI answer. Let me double check that it's not incorrect.
Okay, that's a hot take, Coach. Is this like an interesting Northeast Kingdom thing?
No,
mushrooms.
I don't like mushrooms. Period.
Ah, man, I'm a pretty big fan of mushrooms. I mean, I eat them reservedly. Definitely never before work or big functions. But yeah, they're just like really spongy, so it takes up the flavor of what it's on. I've been getting more into them, just in general, but
I don't like the texture of them.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But at any rate,
if you're in with something, you chop them up real fine, you dice the shit out of that, put it in with some good spaghetti. Oh yeah.
So it says to determine the total cost of a spell, start with the mana cost or alternative cost you're paying, add any cost increases, then apply any cost reductions. The mana value of the spell remains unchanged no matter what the total cost to cast it was. Yeah, so completely, you can cast, Torrent of Hellfire. If you have 10 creatures, you can cast it for 2 black and X equals 10. It's really good.
This gonna be a good card.
I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't know that it's game breaking.
I think it's going to be an S tier commander, like a top tier. You can the fact that your creatures help pay for the commander tax is insane.
Well, and I'm also thinking that along with that, as far as the colors that it's in, like you were saying, black and green, it's definitely going to be a huge ramp. That's one of the things about I was thinking how different people would build it is that could be big mana, big creatures, or a lot of just murdering skills.
I definitely like this one. Giving black artifact removal, but I mean you already have green, but I like it. I think it's fine for a common. This one, I like this one. For draft chaff. Let's not think it just turns Matt, you're upside down.
Yeah.
But draft, like very, very good for a draft. And I pointed this out on DJ's show. Notice it's a dwarf.
It's a
dwarf.
So what I was saying is that this is already foreshadowing dwarf support for the Hobbit set coming out later this year.
I love that dwarf support. You don't hear those.
Well, I'm just saying because dwarfs kind of currently suck. Let's just be quite frank. They basically suck.
Well, and
isn't Bergie a dwarf? I think maybe. Maybe the best dwarf in the game.
No.
If she is, I think she's a dwarf.
I don't think so.
This ain't bad at sorcery speed.
She's a god.
It's a common.
Yeah, I think she's just a god. Yeah, she's just a god.
Just a god.
She's just a god.
Just a god.
But I think this is a very solid. Let's just think in terms of draft, right? You would never play this in Commander.
It's true.
But for draft, to get back 2 creatures, like there's limited enough removal in draft to begin with. To get back something, get back 2 somethings. I mean,
why would you ever play Commander?
Stallion. Elemental
Is
horse.
Opus, was that in the first? I couldn't remember. I saw this. I was like,
Yeah, that was a Strixhaven thing.
Was it? I thought it was. Like, I thought there was like an is it spell that had Opus on it. I don't
Yeah,
remember which one it was.
Magnus Opus?
yeah.
And that might have just been the name of the card. I don't remember, but
I think I've seen it on cards before. And it
Is
seems
this
like this set is still pretty cheap. I was looking at TCG Player, and it was still like $125 for a box.
I mean, it hasn't even come out yet.
this one's not terrible. And I could see it easily slotting into something like a VV deck, right? That
Yeah, it's decent.
that you're just like you're casting big is it spells, and you just get a freebie token copy that doesn't have the line that I absolutely hate about making
Once per
token copies.
turn.
Huh? No, the ones that sack it at the end of turn. Like you made a copy of it, right? So this, if you really think about it, this is a Scute Swarm.
Yeah. In its own weird way.
Without the landfall.
Without the landfall, but it's it's going to make a
yeah.
copy, and then that copy makes a copy, and then that copy makes a copy, and then you play. Oh, what's that? The blue guy from Final Fantasy that you get to copy effects. X. It's you tap him and play XX, and he copies triggered effects.
I don't know.
Golo, Gorgo, Gobo,
Those
Goho.
all sound like Magic the Gathering names.
Anyways, so you would copy again. He's in these colors with blue. You tap him, pay 2x, and it, you can get some serious, shenanigans. And here's the one Matt and I have talked about. We talked about this guy this morning. Just independently, he's strong. I'm sorry, but this is strong.
I don't think people are denying that it's strong. Is anybody denying that this is strong?
No, everybody was, more gaga over
Dex was definitely talking shit. He was like, we were playing Icarus, and he's like, man, Pat, Molten Core Maestro, it's a terrible card. He's like, careful for that wolf.
It's got menace. It's got.
He's like a bard. Who's putting bards on cards? Oh, duck.
There's a goblin bard
coming. Yeah,
but
goblin.
What I mean is everybody was more gaga this week over the Ancestral Recall reprinting on the card, which I don't think is nearly as strong as this. Sorry.
I don't get the flavor text. My media, Fury and Flame, like
AI. I think that's AI.
Oh, okay. It was like I understand. I'm under the weather. I gotta take another shot at Dayquil, but okay. Woo.
But I mean, a 2/2 for 2 is not bad. It's at rare, so it's not mythic, right? I don't. I mean, you do kind of care about the Opus because it has to do with this creature's power, but there's so many ways to boost power in red quickly.
He boosts his own power.
Especially with all the times that you don't hit a 5 or more. So if you're just, zinging off some quick stuff, then this is building up.
Yeah, you're going to be playing cantrips. This is going to be in a Storm deck for sure. It's another Berkey for Storm. It's just and it's better.
Just toss this in like a VV deck.
Situationally better.
Like there's going to be gross things that happen with this card. I will not be surprised to see this get banned somewhere.
I don't think it'll get banned, but it's definitely going to be very powerful.
I mean, they already banned VV and so many different things, but
but VV is a different story.
It is.
I am a little surprised that none of these kind of cards don't have any once per turn, only as a sorcery, only on a Tuesday. Like they trigger as many times as you can trigger.
Yeah, this isn't just on this isn't just on your turn. It doesn't just add it in like a phase. It's whenever.
It's just whenever. Yeah,
right? So like this could just go off. Anyways, I would say this is a card to watch out for. I think this is very, very strong. I don't know. There's so many big casting costs. So then like the exact opposite. The last guy was a 2 casting cost. Okay, that's a very strong effect, but a 7 drop? Ooh.
Well, I mean, there's Omniscience. What is that? Is that a 7 or 9 drop?
Omniscience is a 10 drop, but it's also an enchantment.
Yeah, there's ways to cheat it in. Same thing with this one. You can reanimate. It's a decent reanimation target.
What I like about this is
reanimation in red
and blue. Payoff. Like if you get it on the battlefield.
This wouldn't be your commander. This is just a 99.
Okay, again, like I said, I don't think this is as strong as that last one we saw as a 2-drop low to the ground. Just really good with Menache. All right, here we go. And I didn't hear people oohing and on about a second version of a
I don't think this
mana
is a playable
drain.
card.
Huh?
I don't think it's a playable card. That's why nobody's talking about it. It's bad.
Oh shit.
I don't think it's bad, and I do think it's playable.
If you control a wizard, I don't know.
Okay,
man.
or a changeling. Or
Yeah.
Pat, what's my card,
That's
baby?
next.
Kaikar Wins Fury. It's a
No,
wizard.
that's not my
I get
card.
it. I know exactly where you're going with it, Bob. I saw it. I felt that too. I don't know why Bob was hating us for it. Why Matt was hating on us for it, but
I'm
this
saying-
is a perfect Kaikar include. It's
Yet
You're
another card that makes Maskwood Nexus great again. But I mean, at rare, it's not a mythic. It's a doubling effect. So if you're playing Mana Drain, I would play this as well. I think this is going to be
I think that it will be under $10 by May.
It'll be 50 cents.
Like by
What are you
full,
talking about?
I think it'll be a $5 card, a $5 to $10 card.
yeah,
And-
yeah.
Isn't this
Yeah.
even similar to Mana Drain, the art?
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, here's the one that everybody was talking
Yeah.
about. I'm not as
It's
gaga
definitely-
over it as everybody else.
I think it's just a bad consecrated sphinx, but in standard, I think it's probably going to be pretty strong.
No, Consecrated Sphinx is much better.
That's what I'm saying. This is a like a fixed consecrated sphinx.
I don't see this as an ancestral recall.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
it says it right on the card, so
It does, but it's not.
that's why it is an ancestral recall.
It's a 6-mana ancestral recall.
Well, not if you pay
I mean,
1
you
mana
can
to
do-
reanimate it. Then it's a 1
How,
mana.
how does
ancestral
that little
recall.
blue
How
box
do you 1
work?
mana reanimate this in a blue deck?
We don't because you're not, why you keep there are you can play more than one color, Bob.
Sure, you can, but think of all the hoops,
Grixis.
think of all the hoops you have to run through to draw 3 mana or 3 cards.
What do you have to what?
All right, outline the play. Outline the
just
play
that.
line and how many cards you have to have in the combo to reanimate this to get a 3-card draw.
So you need some kind of looter, which is what is a standard staple in any
That's one card.
Grixis deck. Huh?
That's 1 card. So you have to have this
And
in
then you need
hand.
some reanimation target or no, some reanimation card. That's another.
Well, first of all, you have to have this in hand.
And then my
and the
camera turned off
reanimator.
because I moved the table. And now I'm upside down again. You flip yourself
I'm just
upside
saying,
down.
that's too many steps for this to be
Well, as I said, it's a fair consecrated sphinx.
gaga over, and I just don't think it's that great. Hopefully the black one, so if they stick, they said that there's going to be an alpha series of spells. So if this is it, the series was called the Boon. Are you guys familiar with all the boons?
Nope.
There's one for each color, white being tremendously the worst. So in blue, they had draw 3 cards for 1 blue mana. Do you know what it is in green? You probably know what it is in red.
I'll say it's Black Dark Ritual.
Black is Dark Ritual. It's add 3 mana for 1 black.
Is
In
green
red-
Giant Growth.
Green is Giant Growth.
Okay.
Red, think
White.
1 mana for 3 something.
The hell would white be?
Lightning
Game 3
bolt.
life.
Lightning Bolt. And I bet you can't name the effect or
Is it
what
just
the
a game-
card. What's
Is it just
that?
a Game 3 life.
Not gain 3 life. It's called
I mean, that's
Healing
my guess.
Salve.
Healing Solve.
Oh,
that?
prevent the next 3 damage.
Prevent the next 3 damage.
Yeah,
For 1 white.
Meanwhile, you have Fog.
I've just played that so many times back in the
Have you?
day.
Yeah, white just got right up the pooper on the Boon.
I've heard of the card, but I don't know if I've ever played it.
So that's
Yeah,
the
when I
Boon
was like
cycle.
14,
and
I played it.
I'm assuming this is what Morrow was referring to when he said the alpha cycle. That's what this is.
So maybe I'm just not super familiar with how this works. If I got this
Well,
card
the
in my
mechanic
hand,
isn't we don't know yet. They haven't explained the Undaunted or the
There's,
or the
I
prepared
went through
mechanic.
this argument on DJ's show. There have been sites out there that have explained prepared, and yes, it works just like you would imagine if they're correct. But they're only guessing as well because Magic has not stated it officially, and there are no cards that contain the oracle text of what prepared means. But what they're saying is that if you prepare something, then it can cast the spell that's printed on the card.
Yeah, so most likely the way this works is it enters with like a prepared token on top of it, and then you can pull the token off to allow you to play, or actually you cast the spell, which then removes the prepared token, and then you'd have to find some way to re-prepare it.
And
Now,
that's
is
what
it
I'm
a
saying.
token? Is
You're
it a
gonna have
counter? I don't know.
you're going to have some sort of marker. Yet one more thing to track. Thanks, Magic. Because let's
Yeah, I
say
know
you
people
don't
were
pop it
complaining
right
about
away.
that.
Huh?
I know people were complaining about that, like having like it's going to be annoying to keep track of.
It's just one more
You
token.
just have to
that
have
you
like a prepared
print out on
counter.
your like that's my set of freaking tokens already to keep track of bullshit. And
Well, add one more to the list, buddy.
yeah. And you know what they still don't have? Banana tokens, you fuckers. Print one.
Banana.
Banana.
Like, come on. Like, why would they not print that token? Just like they never printed. You know what they also famously didn't reprint, and on purpose, and never will. The tokens to support Garth One Eye. You remember that guy?
What, the Black Lotus guy?
It's what else is on the card?
I think that's just to recalls one of them, maybe.
What?
Shivan Dragon, I know, is one of them.
Shivan Dragon. Yeah. I don't even remember them all, but yeah.
No, Black Lotus is one of them.
And that's the reason they won't print those tokens. How stupid.
Dragon.
Anywho, moving on to the next, because we got 12 minutes, folks, till our member
Archaics Agony.
Not in love with the spell.
X is a number, color, mono. Wow, yeah, that's super.
All right, and the reason that I was not happy with this, Pat, is this is one more color style. It's not quite vivid. It's not quite sunburst. It's not, I'm like,
it's not quite good. Yeah, it's
like, stop it.
I would like if it said at the bottom, you may play those cards for free, or until your next turn. Yeah, but that's not what it says. So this is kind of just fuck it.
Yeah, why? I was also confused why they like didn't use the keyword they already have to describe this. Converge is just that, right?
No. Converge is what the colors were. It's not quite sunburst. The closest I know of is sunburst. It was when you cast this, right? And vivid is kind of like that, but not quite. That's what I'm saying. I went through this during DJ's show and going, really? Like they keep messing with the nuance to confuse you between vivid and sunburst and converge.
At least these are all the uncommon slots. So like, we just don't have to worry about those.
Yeah, I would you draft this?
No.
Most likely not.
Because in order to even make it good, you got to have a 5-color deck, really.
Yeah, well, and then you're paying to make people discard stuff. Like if
you pay 5 mana to discard, make somebody discard 3 cards in limited, that's probably good enough. If you're playing a 3-color,
they're not going to have 3 cards in their hand by the time you would get this off.
By turn 5? What do you mean? Nobody's dumping their entire hand by turn 5 and in limited.
Many people are.
No, come on. I've played plenty of limited where people have the fucking full hands.
Render speechless.
Turn 5 is super slow.
2 and Orzhov, target
player,
no land, discard it. But yeah, super whatever.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying that in limited, it's probably its only place.
Okay, cool. I would never draft it. Again, too expensive, really.
Yeah, it is now. Yeah.
Like this better be a game-ending effect for 6 or 7 mana. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not a non-hasting trample, tap a target creature. What? Get out of here. Pursue the past.
It's a decent card for.
No, it's not. Why is this not decent, Matt? You should know this more than anybody.
Because it's a sorcery?
No.
Why do you think it's not a decent card, Bob?
Because it's in Boros.
Yeah, but again, you're allowed to play more colors than what are listed on the card. So you play this in America.
Yo,
Or
for
Jeskai.
sure. I
Not-
mean,
not in
limited.
limited.
Kykar would
Pretty
not
good at
dislike
Jeskai.
this.
Jeskai
Yeah.
Storm would definitely like that. They like flashback. They like cheap cost that draws more than one spot, more
Sure.
cards per spell or whatever. I don't know. It has a place.
I do like this one, however, and mainly because of the wording.
It
It
gets your
doesn't
payoff.
have to.
Yep,
It doesn't
right on.
have to hit.
Yep.
Though one of the things that does seem a bit odd, aren't most Jins flying?
Probably. He lost his wings. All right. Like, he doesn't want to talk about it.
Okay. Now I
because
hate
he's a
the if you do
idol.
discard it. There's your loot effect. You can get that one card in the graveyard. This is just terrible. Somebody tell me, when would you ever draft or play this?
Legendary.
I was also wondering the same thing. I mean, I don't even know where. Maybe there's going to be. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be an insane combo. No, probably not.
You can't play it
I
Commander.
mean, that's this would be great for my Doran deck. I mean, right? It's a
Great.
0/2, and it's a creature that doesn't have defender, so it's just a mono rock, not a great one by any fucking stretch. But then once Doran comes in, boom, this bitch is a 2/4 on the attack for 2. Yeah, it's not terrible.
Are you adding that to your Doran deck?
Honestly, that would this would be fine. There's something I could replace
Okay.
with that.
Here's another one that I just take exception to the casting cost.
Oh, that's way too high. Well, there's
Like
a
if
reason
they
it's
had
uncommon.
if they had haste, I could accept that. The only way I ever see this seeing any play whatsoever is the second ability.
Yeah, it's like a cycle, kind of.
It's a improved cycle
If only 2 colorless, is pretty good.
because you're basically looting and cycling.
That's okay. Yeah,
But
no, that's a good point.
does
Yes.
it warrant a spot in a deck for?
Fuck no. Yeah, well, I'm gonna put it in a deck just so I can get other cards instead of this card. Yeah,
Right.
that's it.
Or put something in the graveyard in red and blue? Okay.
Okay. Well,
Another one
a
that's
card.
just draft chaff. It
This
is a common,
card.
but okay.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I'm also thinking about this in the lens of our Commander Raids draft that I'm hoping we do for this, and like well, this will make it in just to.
I really
fill
hope I
out
get a
the deck.
Wither Bloom. He's gonna be sick.
I mean, that would be.
I'll make a vow. If I pull Wither Bloom, I will build him using only cards I own as a normal commander.
So, meh
No
on this
properties.
one. Like, swipe left. This one I like. I like the flexibility in limited.
Yeah, but it's sorcery.
Okay, but in limited, that's
Limited these nuts across your face. I don't like it.
it's removal, and it's flexible removal. I like this in limited. I would draft that.
Yo, what up,
you
man?
have to. You pretty much have to play all removal when you play limited.
How you doing?
Dude, I watch so many people draft. Yo, Dual Brain. Been watching your shows lately, my friend. And I kind of like where you were going somewhat, Dual Brain, with your how to get free Magic cards. So a little misleading, however, comma. I did leave a note about Game Nerds. At any rate, let me know when you're going to start your. For those of you who have not had the pleasure of watching Dual Brain's flea market, there is something super effing cathartic about him going through, and he's such a chill dude. He's like he's almost like a modern day hippie with his mannerisms. Would you say, Matt, when you met him in Vegas, that was pretty apropos for just like a chill, nice guy vibe? So much nicer of a human being than me. Just what a genuine dude.
The first thought I had is, man, this guy smokes a lot of pot.
That is true. He's a very chill bro. This guy, I don't know. What are you guys, 5 for a 2/2?
This guy's more relaxed than a fucking lazy boy. Like, come on.
I mean, depending on how you play it could be 5 for a
great.
7/7 with trample and reach. So
Really?
like,
really, Pat, do
could
you
be
believe the words
good.
that are coming out of your mouth?
No, those were all great words. For 5,
Trample
this
reach
would
is
be a
good. Trample reach
7/7 with
color. Oh,
trample and
it's got
reach.
converge. Okay. It's pretty shit.
5
I
for a
mean,
2/2.
it'll
No,
never
it'd
be 5 for a
7/7 trample
2/2.
reach. But even if it's at its best case scenario, I don't like it.
Mm.
It's not like the worst thing I've ever
I
seen. But
love the art on this card. I don't care if it
that's
is
good.
AI.
Yeah, this is a surprisingly decent card.
Oh yeah, I like it.
I mean,
That's
I'd
gonna go
like
in
if there were
Witherbloom.
more of the essence warding kind of thing, so it was anywhere on the battlefield. But hey, you know, it counts itself, which those
I was about to
don't.
say it's better. Essence Warden doesn't count itself.
Yeah, but it's also just 1 green.
Well, but this is
Yeah,
also a 2/2.
and it's a creature, which means that it counts for Witherbloom affinity.
Fuck these so hard. I hate that Planeswalker.
I am not a fan of this one either. Matt was like, "Hey, they're coming out with a new Planeswalker for the first time in a long time." I'm like,
he's
"This
not the
card
one. He's
sucks
not new.
my
Oh,
left."
great! It
He's
also
not
can be
new.
your commander. Ugh. When
I don't
one
think
or
he was
more
a
There's been a couple
Planeswalker
different
before. He's not new, but this Planeswalker is new.
No, the new one hasn't been announced yet. Or like they've announced the person that it is. Like it's a new person. It's not a new card. It's a new
I don't
like a whole
think
new person.
I don't think this is a reprint.
No, it's not a reprint. It's a but he's already a Planeswalker is what I'm saying. Like there's been another Quintorius. The one
Either
that I'm
way,
talking about, he's a brand new name. I forgot his name. I'll
either
pull
way,
it.
this for a mythic, man, can you imagine if this was the mythic you got in your collector box?
I would not be happy with this card. Like just full stop. Just I don't want
like
this
it's
card.
in the worst colors in Magic.
Well, I'm thinking like, oh, I could put this in Kaikar. It's in the colors and it's creating 3/2 red-white spirits, and I can use Kaikar to be able to sacrifice those spirits. And boom, soon as I play this guy, I could -4 him. Spirits gain double strike and Vig. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of them. But also, fuck Planeswalkers. Like I'm never going to put them in a deck. It is bullshit.
Would you ever make him your commander?
No, I would never put him in any deck.
Oh, he can be your commander. Look at that.
I would.
This one, nobody else seems to agree with me. I think this guy is good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
The biggest problem is he has no self-protection. This guy needed to have like
but
Ward
he's only
2.
3 mana. He doesn't need it.
He doesn't like protection.
Oh, I see where you're going there. And he's wearing a major. What's with his cod piece there? He looks rather excited.
Get that thing and swinging.
What?
At any rate,
next
29 years.
Smoking
cigarettes or smoking the marijuana?
The reef. Yeah. The New York cigarettes.
This would be terrible in Commander raids, but in other, I wouldn't say terrible. He's not totally useless like many of the commanders we saw. Like that ability doesn't do anything. But at least the bottom ability could do something if you draft a bunch of auras. So long as there's a bunch of auras in this box. But I think he's a fine commander, and certainly in the 99.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So, not bad. I think he's good. Again, Dina doing Dina things, and she's pretty spooking good, my friends.
This ability can only trigger once each turn.
I hate that shit, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it makes enough sense
it allows
on that
powerful
one.
effects to exist, but at the same time, it's annoying. It's kind of like prepared, but with like, it's actually really just prepared, but like another way of saying it, really.
What are you talking about, Ed? Smoking cigarettes is super cool. Have you never seen the Marlboro Man or Joe Camel? Shit was great. Don't get me wrong. It was directly advertising cigarettes to children, but boy, did it work. I'm a Camel Man to this day.
I actually think that this Simone is
my parents smoked
pretty
Camels.
good.
My dad did.
Cost one.
Simone's pretty good. Yeah, she's very good.
How do
there's a deck that I'm in the process of building, Zexaris. He's a Hydra guy that cares about casting spells with X in it.
I
So
would
she's definitely
like if it was just
staple.
like instead of put 2 1/1 counters, it was put that many 1/1 counters on her. Rutha.
It's a big heavy X set is what I've noticed so far. I haven't heard anybody else come up with that. So I wonder what kind of X casting cost spells we're going to see in Strixhaven. But what is it? Next week is official spoiler season.
Oh yeah, mathematics was another X spell.
Oh, Mathemagics or whatever it is.
Mathemagics.
But I expect to see a number of X spells in, especially instants and sorceries.
How many would you expect? Would you say it's X amount of spells?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually an equation down below that we'll get to it. Stock up, reprint. It's going to be this. It's going to be this many. It'll be this many, Pat.
It's that many. It's 2 to the 3. Yeah.
Dude, I honestly hate cards that have too many words and too many rules and too much math. And
that's not too much. That's only 3 lines of text.
Card.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, what happens if you have? What happens if you have 2 to the 6th? We've already covered Lorehold. I'm not going to go over that again. I think that people are going to come up with broken combos, though. Again, Boros is boring. Your talisman. I do like the art on this one.
I like them.
I don't know why. Your talismans and your soul ring. And I think those are all in the codex.
God, I fucking love that soul ring.
It's pretty good.
It kind of looks like Black Panther crossed with Shiva.
It's the Archaics.
I know.
It's some old school art.
And that, my friends, is going to do it for our normal podcast for this Saturday evening. If you want more of us, and we will show you more of us in the next segment, which is the member-only stream. So for 99 cents, you can see more of us.
More of us. Only went over 4 minutes. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's definitely not members only until I change it here in the next, 30 seconds.
All righty, folks. Thank you all for joining us that aren't going to be with us on the member stream. Remember, we're here every Saturday at 7 p.m., or at least most of them. We probably won't be here for the Gen Con weekend. That is almost guaranteed.
You guys don't want to just do it live?
Okay, why don't you do it live?
I mean, we did it from the stadium last time. That was actually super fun. I loved that.
Yeah, we sat in the Lucas Stadium Arena and it just went live. It was great.
Yeah, if you remember, I was also gone by that stream as well, so you won't see me there.
Nah, but me, Shane, and Matt can do it.
Maybe I guess I could join live in my car while I'm driving.
Guest on our cast,
but I think that would be bad.
Guest.
All right, peace, y'all.
See you in the next. Boom, end that stream.